What is up, guys? We're back at it again with Touchdown Talk. I'm ZB, Zack Brown. College football is back in full swing. Big time first week kickoff games coming at you this week. NFL Preseason has concluded. What does that mean now? Let's get into it. Well, let's start off with college football. Representing App State right here on the hat. App State plays Gardner-Webb in Boone, North Carolina on ESPN Plus at 3:30 on Saturday. Big time kickoff game. This really sets the tone for the year. It's a must-win. You can't lose to Gardner-Webb. But this gets everybody get the cobwebs out before big time games come up with ECU and UNC this year. So App State's got some stuff to prove. New defensive coordinator, new quarterback, bunch of young players. So App State's out to prove once again that they are the team, and they're the team to beat in the Sun Belt. Kicks off on Saturday, so excited to see that. Another big-time game coming at you is the UNC and USC game, North Carolina versus South Carolina. Coming at you at Charlotte, North Carolina. So right there on the border of North and South Carolina. What a great opening day game this can be. The Gamecocks had some incredible wins last year. Incredible games. They had great games against Tennessee, Clemson last year. So they have potential. And UNC, they've got one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country, Drake May. Projected definitely top 5 pick, if not top 2 or 3. You throw in Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State, and obviously Caleb Williams from USC, who is currently lighting it up already. But, I mean, they didn't really play anybody great, but that's how it goes with week 1. Another primetime game, and the one I'm going to be watching, because that's the team I've always pulled for since I was born, is Penn State versus West Virginia. Big time Penn State fan. Grew up about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of State College. So this is where can Penn State take the step? Can they actually put together an entire season with James Franklin's team? James Franklin is notorious for not showing up for the ranked games, top 10 teams, especially Ohio State and Michigan. Well, they're opening up at home against West Virginia in primetime. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. The spread is 20.5 right now. I think it'll be a closer game than that. I think for about 3 quarters it'll be a tightly contested game. I think Penn State's experience and rushing attack with their two-headed monster in the backfield with another year under their belt, I fully expect them to ground and pound towards the end and get the win, but I think it's going to be within 20.5. I don't see any more than a 3-score game. I think West Virginia will come out tough and play hard. And it's the first game of the season, so there's going to be a lot of rust both sides. You'll see a bunch of penalties and some undisciplined football. That's just how it is. Some things you'll definitely have to criticize in the week after and address. And that's just how football, and especially college football, goes. Now let's talk about what happened overseas. Now, I thought Notre Dame and Navy were going to have a better game. I thought Navy was going to put up a better battle. I was wrong. So it's all about Sam Hartman, the big quarterback transfer, 6th year out of Wake Forest. He's thrown over, I think, 109 touchdowns, was at Wake Forest. And because of that COVID year, he gets his last year of eligibility now, goes to Notre Dame, and seemingly it was the right choice going through that in the transfer portal. He missed 4 passes all day. They didn't really need him. They were just dominating. 19 for 23, 251, but he had 4 touchdowns. I mean, damn. And there were some just dimes that he was throwing. Very impressive quarterback. I don't know how much it was him and how much Navy wasn't nearly as good as Notre Dame. We'll see as the season progresses, see how Sam Hartman does against all these other teams. And Notre Dame's got a tough schedule. And there's always that they're going to overrank them. You see it every single year. And I've said it time and time again. I think they're a top 10 team. And if Sam Hartman keeps us up, they could be a potential playoff team. So that's definitely one to keep your eyes on. And Sam Hartman, it's good chances as any to get a Heisman win. And that's really all I want to touch on for college football. Just touch on the basic stuff, the couple primetime games. Let's give my picks for these for App State and the 2 primetime games. Week 1's a lot easier to make picks than it is with future weeks when there's a lot tougher competitions. Let's start off with the App State Gardner Webb game. I haven't seen the spread, but App should comfortably win over Gardner Webb. Gardner Webb just traditionally just doesn't have a very strong football team. Very talented in wrestling, and I believe track and field are pretty solid at. But football, it's not exactly their forte. I look at App State to win by 3 scores and start the season off right at home in Boone, North Carolina. Moving on to the Penn State West Virginia game. Penn State, I think, looked it was a 97% chance to win, and they're 20.5-point favorites, and they're at home. That atmosphere, I expect Penn State to win. Not within 20.5, though. I think it'll be by 17, and I predict it'll be fairly high scoring for a Penn State game on Penn State's offensive side. 38-21, Penn State over West Virginia is my pick. And UNC versus USC. Battle of the Carolinas is where College Game Day is going. So expect a lot of fireworks in this one. I think it'll be a very high scoring game. I don't know what the over-under is, but if the over-under is only about 60, I say you go the over. I think it's a pretty close game, but I'm going with North Carolina 45, South Carolina 38. Touchdown game. South Carolina keeps it close, but I think Drake May just shows how good he really is and starts his Heisman campaign off on the right foot. All right, that does it for my quick college football preview and a little bit of recap with that. Let's just dive into NFL, talk about what's going on right now. Preseason has ended. The final roster cuts have been made. So it's a day where people's dreams were made. And people's dreams went up in smoke. And people were waived and put to practice squads and traded and everything. If you're the Patriots, you say, I don't give a fuck about quarterbacks except Mac Jones. Mac Jones is now left alone in the quarterback room after they waived Malik Cunningham and Bailey Zappi. So I don't really know what Belichick's trying to think of right now. I don't know if he's bringing in a veteran to back up Mac. That remains to be seen. Some questionable decisions the last couple of years with Belichick. If it works, great, but I think they're getting to the point where Belichick's days are numbered in New England. Yeah, he's one of the greatest coaches of all time, but eventually people's time at a place runs its course. It happened with Andy Reid at Philadelphia. It happens everywhere. I mean, it happened with Tom Coughlin with the Giants, Bill Parcells at multiple places. It just, whether it's from retirement or you're done. It's just every relationship has its end. Some coaches have shorter careers than others, and luckily they can pick that up pretty quickly. I don't know. He's, like I said, he's going to go down as one of the greatest coaches of all time, but there haven't been significant improvements made with this team in the last couple of years. And last year, him not having an offensive coordinator for Mac Jones was kind of alarming. And this year he gets Bill O'Brien, so it's like, all right, we're looking good. But now he does something like this and cuts all the quarterbacks. I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning is. But again, if it ends up working and ends up being another Bill Belichick masterpiece, then I'll eat my words. Again, I think the days are numbered. This potentially could be his last year as an NFL head coach. Whether he retires, forced retirement, or Robert Kraft gets tired of losing and missing the playoffs and missing Tom Brady. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think Bill O'Brien is a huge upgrade for Mac Jones, but Mac Jones gets hurt, and he also has no competition with him. It's hard to really improve. So we'll see. Moving on to the other big news that happened this week. Jonathan Taylor was unable to find a trade partner. Well, the Indianapolis Colts were unable to find a trade partner with Jonathan Taylor. So the asking price was too high. I mean, they wanted a first-round pick or equivalent of a first-round pick, and that's just not going to happen with a guy that's that disgruntled. Other teams know it. So they're like, well, Indy, if you want to just keep him, you can. Keep a disgruntled player like that. I thought that there'd be some sort of middle ground that the Colts would have made to get rid of Jonathan Taylor. I thought you would have seen something like the Christian McCaffrey trade from last year, the second and the third and fourth or whatever, or any conditional picks. But clearly they wanted too much for him, and he also wants too much money. And you can find all these younger running backs, and I hate it for the running back market, but it is what it is. If you can find a younger guy to do it cheaper, and you can just keep that revolving door going, why stop? Why spend all this money on a running back when you can have a rotation in and keep everybody fresh? And people are not quite as talented, but they know the system. They can do the right things. Part of me wanted Jonathan Taylor to go to the Eagles just so they could have the Taylor Swift tandem in the backfield. That'd been pretty funny. Fun storyline, but it didn't happen. So they put him on the PUP list. So he's inactive for the first 4 games at least. I'm sure the Jonathan Taylor's agent's going to be working on finding some trading partners, some teams that are interested, and I'm sure teams will continue to call, especially when injuries inevitably happen. I really thought he could go to the Bears. The Bears really need an upgrade at running back. Herbert in the backfield, he's a good running back, but I don't think he's a number 1 guy. Bringing in a number 1 veteran for Justin Fields would have been phenomenal. And I still think that is the number 1 landing spot for him. So let's talk about a couple landing spots that he could go to that would work best for him. You got the Bears. I think that's the best fit for Jonathan Taylor and for the Bears. Miami Dolphins, of course, with Mike McDaniel's very explosive offense, using him to keep some of the pressure off of Tua, off of the receivers, and try to get a legitimate running game going. They struggled getting running the ball towards the end of the season, and a lot of it had to do with them not really them loading the box and say, hey, we're not going to let you run. You're going to have to throw it when you have backup quarterbacks. That's what's going to happen. But yeah, the next team that Jonathan Taylor probably be a good fit. Don't know how much they're going to look at getting a new running back, but the Buffalo Bills, they've got Singletary and James Cook, Dalvin Cook's brother. So they're pretty solid right now. But if you add Jonathan Taylor, I mean, that's just a humongous weapon that they would end up getting. That's another suitor. You can have the Panthers in the mix. The mix go with Bryce Young, but after the Panthers got rid of Christian McCaffrey for that, I don't expect them to make the same trade to get Jonathan Taylor. And of course, you've got the Minnesota Vikings, but the Minnesota Vikings didn't want to pay Dalvin Cook, so why would you pay Jonathan Taylor? Stuff like that. And I don't know if I talked about it last time, but let's touch on it. Now I've mentioned him a couple times. Dalvin Cook, officially a Jet, going to wear number 33 for the Jets. Another weapon for Aaron Rodgers. I think it is a very good signing. I don't know if Breece Hall is going to be ready for week 1. And now he doesn't have to force being ready. Dalvin Cook's there towards the end of training camp, able to learn the system, able to learn the plays. He's in shape. He's ready to go for week 1. You don't have to rush back the second-year running back who had a phenomenal rookie year until towards ACL. So no need to rush him back. I would even put him on the PUP list right now. Get him healthy, activate him after week 4, and make a huge run at the end, towards the end of the season. That tandem with Cook and himself would be insane. And still the question is, can the Jets O-line hold up, protect Aaron Rodgers? And after seeing the first drive, no, it's the second drive that Aaron Rodgers had, they had a punt the first drive. Kind of resulted from a Randall Cobb questionable unnecessary roughness block. I think it was a cracked back block. But Aaron Rodgers leading the Jets to his first scoring drive with them. Very methodical. And you can tell how instinctual he plays. How much he's already trusting guys. I think Garrett Wilson's going to be taking that next step in his very short career so far and potentially be the offensive player of the year. Not just rookie of the year like he had last year. I see him like a faster Devontae Adams. He's got very good route running, and he's quick as hell. Even Aaron Rodgers said it on Hard Knocks. This guy's fast as shit. Sometimes doesn't know where to get the ball placed because he cuts open real quick right before Aaron Rodgers anticipates it. So that takes a lot of practice. But you can see how invested Aaron is, and you can see everybody, the whole attitude shifting with the Jets. It's really cool to see. I mean, I'm not a Jets fan. Got a good friend, got a couple other guys that I know, big-time Jet fans, so seeing the Jets not be relevant for the longest time and seeing them now with possible Super Bowl hopes is kind of refreshing to see. As an Eagles fan, I know all about being disappointed for a long time, so we'll see. Could be Jets, Eagles in the Super Bowl. Who knows? Too early to predict all that stuff. I've made premature Super Bowl picks before, pretty much every year. I'm not going to do that yet. And it's a little too early to start picking games for week 1. We'll get into that next week. It'll come out the day before the big Kansas City and Detroit game. I'm excited for that. Football's back, baby. I mean, it's It's ready. I apologize to my wife. Sorry, attention is shifting a little into football. Yeah, I'll bring the kiddos up. We'll all watch football. I don't care. Get them into it. Get them hyped up for it. It's fine. If you haven't yet, go check out some of the streamings I've got of Madden. Trying to stream a little more often. Get everybody hyped up for this football season. What am I? 4-1, I believe now. Mad about that one loss that I had, and I sucked with the Jets. Just bad luck, just terrible throws. But yeah, looking more into what's going on. Officially released from the Cardinals, I'm very shocking. It was Colt McCoy. So probably Josh Dobbs gets the nod as the starter until Kyler Murray comes back, at least after Week 4. He's on the PUP list right now, so he can't be activated until after Week 4. It's just dumpster fire that the Cardinals are going through. I don't even have any more to add to that. Yeah, Jonathan Gannon's got his hands full. Yeah, I don't really have anything to add on the Cardinals. We'll see how all that shakes out. Officially named starter of the Texans, though, to no shock to anybody, C.J. Stroud. So it's his team. What can he do? Can he do anything to improve the Texans? Hard to make them go any worse right now. We're kind of back into where the Texans were when Deshaun Watson took over. Defense isn't quite as good. I think D'Amico will get them there. I think his leadership skills and his style of coaching will bring out the best in the players, but it takes time to develop that culture. So Texans fans don't expect it to happen right overnight. But C.J. Stroud, officially the starter. We'll see how he can light it up in Week 1. I think that's pretty much all the big news. As Matthew Stafford can't get along with some of the younger guys, or he can't make friends with them. That's what his wife said. So there's that. I don't need to touch on that anymore. But yeah, we're ramping up. The next episode, we're going to be making picks. Oh, yeah. Yeah, one thing that did happen for me, the fantasy football draft happened. And I forgot about it. And I'm pissed about it. But then I looked at my team and I got to thinking, my team ain't too shabby. I'll take it. So posted on the screens my starting lineup for Week 1. Let me know what you think. On the bench, the biggest disappointment that the auto draft did was Jonathan Taylor. I got a fucking guy that's not even going to be playing this year. I think Jonathan Taylor's holdout's going to be like Le'Veon Bell's was. So that's cool. But I got Joey B, DK, Cooper Kupp. I mean, it's not a bad team. And Bijan Mustard. Oh, I think he did have a commercial about that as a joke for, I think it was something referring to Grey Poupon. So I haven't seen it yet, but I saw a clip or something, like a headline about it, and that was kind of funny. So at least I'm not the only one that thinks that. But I don't know. I think it's an okay team. I can't really do any worse, and I'm basically the king of mediocrity when it comes to fantasy football. No matter what the fuck I do, usually I end their careers. Todd Gurley, after his sensational rookie year, I think it was either second or third year I had him, and that's when he fell off so bad, he got hurt, and then his career ended. Cool. And somebody else's career ended too because of me. I'm convinced. But we'll look ahead. Next week we'll make our picks. Comment down below what you think of the fantasy team. And what do you think of the couple college football picks I had? I'm not going through all the college football games because there's too much. I'm going to just look at all the primetime games. Obviously, I'm going to always look at Penn State, App State. I mean, get your own podcast if you want to get your team on it. Or just comment, and I'll look into your team, I'll look at the matchup, and I'll talk about it. Can't do anything unless you share this, so share it anywhere you want to. Get the word out. This comes at you every week. What day of the week? I don't know. Depends when I work and when I'm off work. Fortunately, right now I'm off of work. So, yeah. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe. And you can see all the other content I've got. See the gaming content. And if you like racing, go ahead and check out Horsepower Talk as well. So, yeah, I think that'll do it for today. Catch you guys next time.